What I decided to do was record myself while I rant, watching the internet videos as other people would. Except I get to be myself and just carry the burden of the phone and time constriction of battery and whatnot. So in a way of a retweet, fixing mistakes, easy with shit. Let the rant commence. I've been ranting all day. Tweet. So while the tweet happens, I'm just going to comment on how can an American service put such a constraint on freedom of speech when you offer them, the individual, an individual's platform. It's not like you're bombarded with people that you don't know or want or don't associate. Usually it's your Twitter feed is full of the things that you like, the things that you follow and what is recommended. So if you find what Sean Strickland tweeted offensive, that's your own fault. Why are you on Sean Strickland's page? Did you not read the description? It says it in his header. He's banned from Instagram and he's here to teach pussies some shit. I'm kind of like his antithesis. I'm trying to teach everyone common sense. I'm just not saying it in a vulgar way. We're saying the same thing. His level of vulgarity is only rivaled by my drive for uniqueness. To make people think. People don't like to think. Or so I've been told by a lot of police officers. But if his words offended you, don't go there. Stay away from what it is. If you can't help it, that's your own fault. Follow with caution. There's a lot of things that people will say that I completely disagree with. For some reason, when you ask the question, who would you rather lead your country? A politician, a martial artist, or a comedian? Me, if you know me, if you're watching my rant, if you're watching this and this offends you, understand it's your choice to be here. Now, if I tweet you and it offends you, is it not my free speech? I'm only antagonizing you because there's something wrong. Something you're looking away from with intent. No one's taking responsibility for their actions anymore. Everything that's going on is because you allow bullying to happen. And the ability to lie, our legal system is so fucked up. You can throw money at things. You can rape someone and throw money at it. Like that person's not gonna have to live with it, or the loved ones of that person's not gonna have to live with it for the rest of their lives, like it's something to be forgotten in a drunken hangover. Let me go check on that tweet. Is there an echo in the room? I usually do this this is a warm-up. This is a warm-up when people are fucking with me. So I was watching a rant by Jesse on Fire, and usually I hear what he has to say, and he's got breaking news. This dude is he is an MMA fan. I haven't watched Jesse on everything else. Time, opinions. My attention is somewhere I want to be. And you know what I'm not going to do? I'm not going to go out of my way to try to disrupt your way of being because we have a different opinion. Now, I might say something. I might add my opinion, my perspective. It might enlighten yours. And if we butt heads, understand, hey, that's what dudes do. We're supposed to. We're supposed to rival each other's ideas, to sharpen our minds, to find better avenues of acquiring all the knowledge so that you're never wrong. Now, if you watch that video, you can tell when someone's not trying to have their livelihood interrupted for having an opinion in America. But not just their livelihood, their peace. Not just their peace, but a peace of mind. That one space where you go to where no one else should be, unless the people you invite in. My rant on everything that's wrong with homosexuality, and this is a big note. Men and women are two separate halves of the species. Women, hey, you tell me who doesn't love women. The pheromones they produce through camera. The chemicals. The reaction through a screen. Now people can argue, oh, man, you like people who are like you. And that's why I hate homosexual men, the homo men. Let's stick to homo men. I fixed that mistake. So deep did I fix that mistake. Now I'm one to like, hey, let's give him a chance. I became an ordained minister just in case any of my friends wanted to get married and the churches told them no. Now, instead of suing the churches, why didn't you create your own? Because they wanted to disrupt something American. They didn't take it to the Vatican. They wanted American business. They wanted to do it the American way. Now, all these homo men, these for ghosts, who, if you turn their back, they're like the ghost in Super Mario. All they do is attack. Why? Because they can't be happy on their own. Why can't they be happy on their own? Because their brain chemistry is so depleted, all of them, everything. The only thing that makes them happy are sudden burst of dopamine, and the only way they can make that happen is not through doing activities that bring them joy, but the bitterness that they carry, they want to put it onto others because they're not happy with themselves. Think about it. As a man, your objective is to continue the species on the most primitive level. We're supposed to procreate. And after we've mastered that, then we procreate. We do things of beauty and art, not just fornication. My number, 24. I say 25 because there's a handful. And if you're listening to this, you know I'm the one who created omnipresent. I'm not the first one who did it. I'm just the one who gave it a name. That's just a mission of truth. That's all. I can argue about the weapon. Can you? The truth. Back to what I was saying. are machines. And every machine has a shelf life. And if you abuse and misuse it, you lose it. And then you're living a life where you're destined to be 100 years old and you have no drive, no passion, no muse, no nothing because you used it all up because you were too afraid to stand up when someone took your manhood. Your ability to stand strong and say, you know what? I'm an American. I was gifted all of the greatness that America encompasses, that it brings. But no, perpetuate weakness. You want to be like your mother? Why? Because you loved her? Me? I'm beautifully ugly. If beautiful was ugly, it'd be me. Now, some would say if I had any maternal issue, it was my mama didn't hug me enough. And all she ever did was the opposite of whatever I asked. A vanilla milkshake, please. They're ordering number 5s and number 3s. I don't even know the right number. I haven't worked in Burger King in thousands of weeks. That's enough about me. Who has the highest suicide rate? Not the Marines. 22 a day, that's out of torment. I know that for sure. With my own eyes, I saw it. I was high as fuck and went to the wrong complex, and the dude who saw me was shook. What the fuck is he doing here? My uncle knows what that means. Who do you think made me? From such a far distance. All he had to do was show up on the scene, tell me a story, and show me the UFC. Blockbuster. After 93, once his tour in Desert Storm and Shield was done and he came back home to get some sleep, low battery. I was gonna watch a video, but it's gonna be me being me. And when I came to the scene, you should have heard the things that I preach. 1,500 animal species practice this. But look what they did. They created a network where they sell kids. They attack them. They live in fear. You ain't never been here. LA. We can spell it your way. Mine is in a hellish way. Mine's from a hellish place. A hellish state. LLEH. Homosexuality. And what's the difference between men and women? Estrogen. A motherly nurture. Oh, but not all women have that. Yes, because look at society. Women are taught to be weak fuck objects. Thanks, Kim Kardashian. At least Paris Hilton did shit. But she's Armenian, not Paris Hilton. GAWD. If you guys know exactly what that means, that's the gays, the Armenians, the white devils, but the W spins. Mexican. That's their pendejas, but the pendejas have dicks. A kilo for the kid. You think that was the last episode that we're gonna get? Unless we let the military in, reconstruct the whole infrastructure. High empathy when you teach the kids. They're gonna be farmers, farming. Now, for all you degenerates, listen to this. If they teach you to be farmers, this is what you get. Tend to the fields. When it's done, that is it. Do you really want them to shut down the internet? And then it's about a competition, not the root of all evil. And monopoly. I hear the schmo is the foe from a trusted source. Good and dangerous. The schmofo. Fist fights. Hey, but if you want to be my friend, right? But digressing from a better place a rant I'd rather rant about. But this came up. You should hear. No. Let's keep it simple. If you read trolls, most of them are homo. You'll see, go to The Simpsons. They're all saying the same thing. Why the fuck are you complaining? Oh, it's not as good as it used to be when you were a kid. Why? Because you've done so many drugs. Your brain chemistry's done and that's it. You're a walking zombie, not meant to be around civilization, let alone kids. Bad influence. The worst episodes are the ones that you're in. Waylon Smithers goes to Japan, and guess what? Your club, he's no longer in. And you want to hate on Sean Strickland? That dude at least gives you some kind of credibility to be an abomination. Disgust. Might I add a biblical reference? Sodom and Gomorrah, you're trash. Artsakh, Armenia, how long is that shit gonna last? And the white devils, you think you're gonna get half. The wicked devils, color don't matter at that. You've been bred in to breed, so I don't care how dark your complexion, the pigmentation. You know what type of bread that is, and I'm not talking about cash. For ghost, or like forgotten after my wrath. The truth, it has to be had. I am so fucking wealthy. I am the smartest man. So much common sense. Be damned. God damn. I'm the one who's truly glad. I went to a meeting and guess this is the most ridiculous shit. The dude who was supposed to help the youth, he looked like he pressured all of those kids. I paid more attention. He was trying to keep to a broken list, wasting resources to the same people who come in. I'm like, hey, I just want to be the opinion of the straight guy. I want to let you know this is why. I was there just trying to be a friend, trying to tell you, hey, stop picking on me. I'm a dangerous man. But before I could get to that, I was apologizing for not being able to what? Understand? I paid more attention to those girls and I wasn't trying to get into their pants. RuPaul, tell me if any of this, I wrote that. Or is my flow so equipped? I spit it so fast. Because all it is facts, you fag! You wish you were a man. You thought that that was the only way they were going to let you in because you were black. Too afraid to fight back. Back in the day, I was like, hey, I'm not mad. This is America. If you want to do that, there's more ladies for me. I wanted one of them, but hey, who knows? I watch a lot of things on TV. So when I call Eminem my sensei, understand this is just my freedom of speech. Because when it comes down to spoken word poetry, I do this shit every day of the week. And if it was in front of a bunch of little kids, because if you check the ratings that I put on the YouTube, the only thing that will carry this that could fit, this video is not for kids. I want you to comment if you have the testicular fortitude when you watch it. Tell me why rants are insane and how we'll rearrange your brain the same way. Reminding you that it's terrible to be gay. When cool things happen and you want to join in, you can't go there without having a gay spin and everybody looking at you with disgust, wishing you were in the dirt or in a bin, in a landfill. That's what I said. Garbage to begin. What the fuck are you doing ruining this event? And then when someone like me comes to the scene and walking through tough as nails, not afraid of anybody, I'm an American, and this is my dream. Everything, especially in the county of LA, no longer the illusion. I'm walking through the screen. And this is me just being me. Now, when I first got to the Glendale Central Library, those faggots, those tiki wannabes, changed their whole MO, trying to dress just like me. How did they get into my Facebook? I'm on their network, Aster IT. Kevin Sarin's a scumbag. If you do your investigation, you will see. Faggot. So what was I saying? All these dudes no longer wanted to be the shell of what they were portraying. They were looking at me as a mold and they're like, hey man, he's not playing. Like, when he hits the ground, it makes that sound. Makes the women say, wow. Chivalry has resurrected, and his name is Jonathan. Just ask all of Glendale who are not bitches, ran by the faggots and abusive men. doing it for the methamphetamine so your addiction can get fed. Like I said, they breed kids. 1 kilo, and this is how they conscript it. You want to party with me? I think you're a cool chick. They leave a kilo of methamphetamines and they leave to the store real quick. And what is an addict supposed to do other than drool and take their chances and try to flee the whole school? The school of hard knocks is nothing but the streets. And if you take that kilo of methamphetamines, you'll make enough to leave. Go to a small town, I think. I don't know. Methamphetamines. How do meth addicts think? They call it glass because their minds are shattered and trash. Basura. Into a gibberish state of expressing gas in such a mentally retarded way that you can understand the state. Like if you had special needs, like a incident in the brain and you couldn't talk a certain way, and you gotta expect people to understand how you feel through sympathy, empathy, and feeling was real. It's like taking care of your kid. It comes naturally if you remember doing it as a kid. If you have life lessons from other people and siblings, it's as easy as writing the book yourself. You'll see. Your baby can read. I taught my son to speak before 8 weeks. All I had to do whenever he was hungry, I knew it wasn't his diaper, I knew it wasn't his tummy, other than he's hungry. So I knew I would hold him and say, hungry, 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 and he'd cry. Hungry, and she'd get mad. And then he spoke to me and told me that he was hungry, and I rushed straight to the tea. Feed. It was too much. We both started crying, but my son got to speak before 8 weeks, before your baby can read. I know how to talk baby. Baby dragon! And y'all try to ruin that for me. Like I said, the homosexuals are a pack of disgusting. Now, why would I pull out psychosexual killing frenzy out of the BLUE? Because if I kept calling them waste, all I would meet is redundancy. Understand, this is not the correct way to achieve the populace to a harmonious state. Are you trying to create a country comprised of the mentally ill, the insane asylum is a birthing mill? So you can use people at your will. Whatever sick desire you get, understand that this is a trap you're all in. I just rewrote it. I was born in 1983. I wasn't here to begin. As a matter of fact, I have an interesting story, but that's for another rant. Homosexuality is bad. And the difference between women is this. When you have a lesbian woman and she acts more masculine, compare her to me. Grab those 2 cents. Pay attention. I'm as confident as this. I'll say whatever I say on the internet to your face, and I don't shiver get. Now, don't misconstrue what I say, because when it comes to respect, I pay it like attention. And life lessons. Women, chemically, are more refined than men, human being. They clean their blood every 30. Man, we gotta fight and bleed. Why do you think man dies before Eve? Adam dies before Eve. Women, their pheromones, they can make you do insane things. They will make you walk so many different ways. Prison is an option, and you're okay. That's the craze. Pheromones drive people insane. Now, some would say sweat glands are the same, and understand the only reason why you're gay, because you stayed in the same place. The women that you're attracted to, the primitive brain, the cerebral cortex, the lizard, that's not insane. It's just your instinct telling you to leave, but unfortunately you're around a bad population because you're lonely. With the internet, how can you be? Just talk shit to the air and be free. Even if you got nobody. The problem is all the bullying, and you jump in. Why? Because you don't have the strength to contend with everybody in the mob mentality. All the questions, all the answers that I create based on all the information that I absorbed, I rejected what was useless, and I added what was uniquely my own with my own true common sense. These are the questions that most people told me there's no answer, because you and I weren't there during those events. But I disagree, because there's always something called common sense. Look at people. History repeats itself. Pick up a book and you will agree with it. Maybe not exact. Jesus Christ and Spartacus. Same tale, 2 different countries, 2 different men. We don't know their names. Jonathan is my hypothesis. It's more Jewish than Jesus. That's not even Mexican. That's a derivative of Latin, which derives Italian. The derivative of Spanish. Its derivative is Spanish. So if you're paying attention, understand, here's a quick lesson. Only Eve gives life from her ribs. Don't let Alexandria, 3rd BC, Alexander the Great's mistake when he put all of the original copies in one place? And the Romans did feast, feeding the Jews to the lions to be lion food, so they can lie to you and say Julius Caesar. That's not his name. It's Jesus Christ, JC. Easter, right? Bunnies laying eggs, chicks. They take the Jewish history and they only teach that to the teens. But they want to teach that to the toddlers for the prey of the priest. Pontifex, that's the Latin name of what it is. And what do you do when they touch the little kids? A vacation to a new location rather than club fed to be meat. That's how deep my lessons, if you understand me. You see, I don't have time to waste on human waste. No resources that way. There's kids that need to be fed with more than just food, knowledge in their head, safety in their soul. Damashi! Watashi wa Jonathan desu. Watashi wa oyogi kata oshite imasu. Jo deskura. Heto America Jin. That's my saying because I'm learning Japanese. That's the culture that made me American and free. My opinion about World War II, and many rants, love and war, irony. That's why God left one place empty. Spill out and blend, breed, procreate. So you can take this whole place, not just this one state, not just this petri dish that I make a friction of gas, a thought that had to be had. God gets lonely. Perfection? It's not all that. If you think about it, you'll understand half. But back to the disgrace, the cancer that made the mistake great. This blunder, there's so many different ways to explain. It's insane. Mental illness. Naturally, you're this. You're supposed to procreate. That's why we need lesbians, because they tell us when the population is too big. Not the fucking faggots. They tell us when mentally we're messed. The society is grotesque. That's why when you go back to Adam and Eve, there's a different way. And I don't mean the direction. I mean the homie. Sapien superior. That's where I have domain. Survive in mind with my brain. Awake. And for me to observe everything in a unbiased state until I learn that fire burns me, then I control it so I can make something to eat or smoke some weed. Total emotional recall. That's how I LIVE. STAYME. EVERYDAY of the week. I could have spelled that, but I had to check the time. I'm running at 40. 39 to be precise, and pristine. Making sure my enemies know exactly what I mean. Go ahead and try to hate on me. You could try. Nothing I write. I just entertain my time. What sounds right? Setting in stone. What is right? So when the left hits the dome, it's not in sight. In a perfect world, who needs to say goodnight? It's always good day. We control the state. You just go to a place to sleep. We farm every day of the week. Homosexuals are bad because men, believe it or not, we are wishful thinkers. We will get lost in the grandeur just for the tingles. So we can feel something other than a venomous state. Testosterone has men barking at each other that way. We have a balance of love and hate. Living in a world that can be great. All we have to do is come together, take the time, and not complain. We could still do the same thing. All of us will just have to combine and go back to school for free. We're learning farming. And the US government is going to give me the American cocaine ring. I run that industry. No monopoly. Reformation of government, that's all me. This whole movement to try to wake up the tools that you use as cannon fodder, one word, human shields. Separate forks and knives, whatever the cannon can fire. And if you say cannon fodder for humans, they're firing more than a boot. They're trying to bring the plague to you. Ask the Pope. That's why he'll give you a finger instead of a ring. Remember they stole all that Jewish gold? They haven't even paid them back to this very day, and the war hasn't ended. I mean, the war had ended. When am I? When was World War II? 45. Over in 2 days. You know, when the Russians marched into Berlin and stomped their boots up the ass of Adolf's friend, and only difference is because in Gottes name, the Third Reich thought they would win. The Pope said that God said. And shit, the Russians and the Americans. Donitz, your plan, what is it? Fuck Adolf, he's dead. We had to keep them apart and infiltrate the 7 heads. It's not hard. The princes love anything with lard. Hear how I carried the A and shortened the D. I'm gonna try to do it real quick. A Bullet Symphony by Jonathan Kelsey Sr. This is a tale of casualties and dollars, population control and power, the head, the hand, the fat, the land, and guess which one they categorize the common man? Neither. They classify us as cannon fodder. One word, human shields. Don't even bother. Replay my words. Don't even bother. Just tip the scales to hand themselves their own demise, lambs to the slaughter. They don't put their faith in the hands of the Father. They give it to Olympus, their power, to turn the whole world sour, gnashing on souls like grapes. Opposite, life's great, making wine out of your pain. Hear the duality in my saying. Making wine out of your pain. Crows collectively calling out what I mean. And if you examine the scene thoroughly, you'll see what I mean. And when you read it, mean comedy. I fumbled on that. Crows collectively calling out what I mean. And if you examine the whole scene thoroughly, then you'll see what I mean. Comedy. And when you read it, mean comedy. I wrote a few, so I don't have everything verbatim. Let's just say it's all about me. For Ghost, so forgotten. The topic to be had. Twitter. Sean Strickland should be unbanned. All of those faggots, take your sensitivity and stick it up your ass. You know you want a chick. You know you want a girl to take care of you like your mommy never did. Or you didn't fulfill her need because she had no faith in you because she was a dumb chick. Bitch. Shit. Women can be bad drug addicts. Trust me. My mom was bad, evil. Not a stepmommy. She's the one who birthed me. Section and a C. 1983. Go ask the doctor who birthed me. He was watching Mike Tyson box from the Olympics on 8-track or the media that came after that. I was strangled with the umbilical cord. Look at my birth certificate and the picture where my hand is at. I'm not flexing for the cam. Same thing happened to my little brother. Damn. Only difference is I was there, I was in the back when the IVs went in. I prayed for him, so I'm like, I guess this is the trials and tribulations that I have to win. In 1987, my mom said she was pregnant, and I prayed for two things. A little brother to play with. I have an older and a younger sis. And a cartoon so we can watch at night. This is before Nickelodeon would exist. Cartoon Network? That's Nickelodeon's kid. And I'm not talking about the ancient one that you watch spin. Talk about ADHD and dyslexia, I got them. Such a gift. You should watch me fight and speak with my fist. Or do something some creativity like this. Yeah, this is elementary, but the class is gifted. I speak to the layman because the brained might understand and say, well, isn't that what genius is? Having a lot of opinion, a bunch of facts, and being able to apply yourself in anything or any field that you wish to participate in. For me, is what topic can I find relevance? Even if it sounds zany to those who are overly brainy, like using water to crash and collide with as a buffer before death-defying action must commence. You must close a hatch and stop a fire from doing nothing but spread oxygen. I've been ranting for 50 minutes and I've deviated from the topic so many times. Freeing my mind, low battery, 15%. I'll do 60 and quit. Where was I going with this? Free speech should be free, as long as you're not like directly threatening anybody. And if you threaten somebody because they threaten you or the well-being of another, like let's take Will Smith for an example. Jada Pinkett was diagnosed with a condition, a stress-induced condition. Being a public figure in a stress-induced condition, you're constantly being talked about on such a level. This is a global scale. This isn't like being a bum. Somebody's talking shit about a bum, no one should really care. What the fuck are you talking about a bum for? Is it a special bum? Is it a magic bum? Is it a dangerous bum? Is it a ninja bum? Is it a samurai bum? That's the questions I would ask. What kind of, is this, is like a levitating bum? Is it the Messiah bum? Yeah, Jesus Christ was a bum, remember that. Sodom and Gomorrah. Every nation that allowed homosexuality into the mainstream fell shortly after. They're like, what about Japan? 1945, man. What do you say to that? Did you take Shinto back? For those who are watching this, and you know you're gonna watch this, I may get one view, but I know who's who. Just because someone raped you and your brain chemistry went off doesn't mean that's you. That means somebody tickled you and you peed your pants. Now imagine if you weren't friends. You could take your life back, but understand you're limited in what you can get. Don't ever go back. It's like being a villain. Look at Vegeta. He quit. Now, to the Asian kin, look what the world did. Warriors, all in the pen. And now look what you are. Go farm. Do no harm. You don't belong. If you wish to be their pets, you can. I'm going to make it illegal if you're an American. I'm going to use facts, not the tactics of fags. You should see what they do to people in LA. They control the buses. They control the city government. They control power and electric. They're in Hollywood, pushing out only what they deem fit. Yeah, they have to use the American government to shield them. That's why apparently we have a rating system, but you want to put a bunch of faggots on the side of a metro bus and flash them in front of little kids. Let me ask you a question. How many lesbians rape women and then molest those kids? How many faggots will take the time out of their day to attack one person and get as much information as they can take? How many of us heterosexuals have no limits? Why would you not? How can you control yourself if you didn't? And when you conspire against people and when you fall in love with them, do you think you can start again? To all the women who are with gay men, how did they target you? Like Black Mirror did? They gathered everything that you like and they introduced you to him. He knew everything about you, and you were like, this must be Jonathan, God's gift. That's what my name meant. If I had a car and a place, all you women who hate, you would ask more money to pay. That means you would have more value if otherwise you say. 10%. 2 minutes remain. Let's see. What else can I relay? This is not a rant of hate. This is common sense. Talking to the mentally ill who think otherwise than what God gifted them with in this dimension of feeling and understanding, enlightenment. You know why God didn't define anything for us? He left it up to the kids. They're going to figure out this. And here's the last life lesson. Don't ever expect God to give you something instantly. You got to work for it. If you wanted to eat a mango and take that seed and plant it, don't expect the next day to eat a mango from what you just did. You gotta wait until it's ripe and you can taste. That reference just made me salivate. I'm from Miami-Dade. Mangoes fall off trees.